You guys, thank you so much for coming on my birthday. Buchecha, thank you so much for coming. No spanks. No spanks. I already got kids class. No. Don't stop.
Who is this man? Come on.
Good choice. If you didn't raise your hand, good choice.
I want to keep my job.
I don't live here, I'm okay, so better keep your life.
You guys, there's a great opportunity. I've been so, I think the right word is honored throughout my jiu-jitsu career to be able to spend a lot of time with Buchecha and to train and to learn from him. Jiu-jitsu is one of those special sports, man. I think sometimes guys don't realize, like, man, every day we have Felipe in here, right? There are a lot of guys like pay a lot of money to like just like, oh, can I make some time? Can I go and travel when they go to Europe and when they make money? We literally get the guy every day, right? And some people, man, don't realize what an honor it is to have don't realize what an honor it is to learn from great people, right? I searched for a long time to find the right people to surround myself with and the right people to learn from, right? And that's all I've ever wanted to bring into my academy is the very best guys, the very best people to learn with, the best people to help you feel better about yourselves and to help you accomplish great things. Whereas jiu-jitsu or life, right? Jiu-jitsu, in reality, it's short-lived. But for the rest of your life, you're gonna learn principles when you're in here and when you share time on this mat. You're guys to be able to fall back and think positively about what you've learned here. And every time that we bring somebody, Buchecha, like every time he comes, I learn one little like seed, right, is planted about a detail of something that, man, I've seen the half guard position so many times, watch the DVDs, right? Take the opportunity to write notes in your phone, piece of paper, or something like that, right? The other part is, man, you don't realize he's a 13-time world champion. It will never happen again. It will never happen again. He accomplished great things. And I'll tell you when I became probably the biggest fan. The biggest fan of Buchecha was when Leandro tore his shoulder in his final match, right? And to watch something honorable of giving an open class title to someone. It's not something easy to earn, right? But to be the type of human being, to share that with someone who you knew you belonged to you, but it showed me true character, right? And what it's really like to be a champion. And that's somebody that I've always looked up to from a jiu-jitsu standpoint and leadership, to be that type of human being. So we're always so grateful to have you here. And thank you so much for coming. You guys, take the opportunity. If you have questions for Buchecha tonight, please ask them. Whether it's mindset, whether it's, man, to be honest, I would love to hear stories of Leandro for me, right? It's my birthday, so. If you guys have questions, please ask. Is it okay?
Yeah, of course.
Feel free. Sit down for a second, guys.
Just like I said in the beginning, when I had so many good memories here, I was thinking about like one seminar that I did with Leandro here, and it was really special. Still have the pictures, me sitting on the bench before the class, and man, every time that I put my gi on, I remember, not just when I put the gi on, but every single day, I remember about him. And man, it's funny because today we're rolling, Phelps got a triangle really tight, and I did one escape that he taught me, you know what I mean? So, like he said, he always, not just the values, but like technique, the story, like in life in general. We learned so much from him, with him, that it's gonna be forever, you know? So I have to share so many moments with him here and all over the world. Feels really special. Like Phelps said, I gave him the title. I didn't. Like I was just paying back because he did for me 2 years before and nobody saw. like in my turn, everybody saw because it was the final, but in his turn, he just gave to me and it was semi-final, so nobody saw. You know what I mean? So I wasn't like, everybody think that I gave to him, but in reality, I was just paying back what he did to me like 2 years before, so it made it even more special, you know? And nobody knows, but 2016, semi-final, he let me go through the bracket and I knew if we fight I would lose, and he still like gave like he said, no, it's your turn, now my day will come, so go there. You know what I mean? So when I gave to him was paying back actually.
I got you. About a couple of months ago, I was watching a YouTube video of you fighting MMA. Big guy in the ring, and you know, I'm a big fan. I watch a lot of your tournaments in jiu-jitsu with the gi on, and it was a big guy. It was a good fight. You're very bloody. You know, I don't know if you remember. It was a black guy that you're fighting against, and then
Of course I remember.
okay, the guy was a monster. Yes, you know, and I don't think his jiu-jitsu was at your level at all, but he was very strong. But then my brother made a comment because he was standing behind me. He goes, "Jiu-jitsu is different when you're getting hit in the face." You know, like what's going through your mind when you're, you know, in that kind of battle?
No, being honest, the fight, the first round, I paid the price in the first round because I got clipped really bad a couple times, and when you get like hit for a heavyweight, in those hits I had one concussion, so like the whole fight I fought, the feeling that I was drunk, you know what I mean? So like dizzy, so it was, of course, it is what it is, but the punches of course made everything difficult because I wasn't thinking straight. When I had like a jiu-jitsu position, I had like a delay, and that delay, it was the time that he escaped, he exploded, and I didn't have the fast thinking to do transitions and to go to submissions or just to maintain the position, and I was losing all my best positions. I lost the mount, I lost half guard, I lost the back because of that, you know, so the punches, I paid the prices. I paid the price because of those punches in the first round. So in the second round I got the mount, in the third round I got the back, but I didn't know what to do, you know what I mean, because I was like dizzy still. But it is what it is, it's MMA, that's the, sometimes you do mistakes and you pay the price, you know, so that was the price that I paid for doing mistakes so early in the fight. But it is what it is. I felt like a bar fight, you know. If somebody throw me like a chair, I would use a chair there to hit the guy. At some moment, like I forgot the technique, I forgot the strategy, and it became like too emotional. You know, I mean, tried to like go for the fight. I became a striker, you know, not even a striker, you know. So it was good to have the experience, but I know when it can let that take over, you know, get too emotional, because it's not a fight, like you need to like to do a strategy, you know. I mean, it's a fight, it's not a brawl.
Yes. Yes, that's it.
This kind of adds on to Simon's question. Like when you're in a match and the match gets tough, what do you say to yourself to like come back in the match and get the victory and secure that?
Man, before the fight, I just had this in my head, like no matter how bad things go, I'm not gonna leave without give everything that I have, you know. So it doesn't matter if I'm losing like 10 points. If it's still I have 10 seconds on the clock, I still fighting. Still in my head, I have a chance to get like a submission, you know, to pull out to like a rear naked choke, like arm bar. That I did so many times in jiu-jitsu. So in MMA was the same thing. I was watching the fight the other day. In the very like last 5 seconds, I was done. I was tired, and I still got like a good shot, and I stood up on my feet with the guy like 120 kilos. So like I felt I still had it. You know what I mean? Maybe if I had a little bit more time, I would still like fight. But one thing I have in my mind, I never go home without give everything I have. So it doesn't matter if it's the first fight, it's the last fight, I leave everything on the mat. So no matter how bad things go, just keep believing and regroup that you're gonna find yourself, you know what I mean? Sooner or later. If you give up, nobody can help you. But if you don't, yourself still in the fight, you're gonna find a way to get back in the fight, you know. But now if you give up, if you think that you can't, then not you and not anybody else can help you, you know what I mean? But once you're in the bad position, you're the only one that can take you out of there. That's how I think, that's how I have in my mind before stepping the fight. So once I step in the fight, I don't even have the doubts in my head. I'm sure what I'm gonna do. That's not giving up.
One of my favorite fights to watch back is you versus Kron, and when you broke your ring finger, and I think you knee-barred him that fight. But is there somebody in a lesser weight class that you feel was the toughest you ever fought in an open weight? And also, is there somebody that's who do you think is the most underrated gi guy that never maybe won a world championship or something that doesn't get the credit they deserve?
Man, smaller guys like really tough. Kron was one of them. Yeah, because like I didn't find many like light guys, you know what I mean? After some time, you go to the open weight, it's like medium head and above, you know, like the light guys, after me, Felipe, and all the guys started like signing up for open weight. The middleweight, the light guys, they said, you know what? Yeah. I mean, because like real, you have to fight the open weight, then you fight the division. So. Right. It's too much, you know. If you don't have a chance, like why you gonna burn like so many energy and so many? So then that's why lately it was like just heavier guys, you know what I mean?
Right.
What was the other question?
If there's somebody that's underrated, you know, like I'm sure everybody gets credit, but there's somebody that you think that doesn't really get as much credit as they should.
Man, like
You know, they say a guy's crazy good in the training room, doesn't really.
Man, guys that I know that people talk, but I think should talk more is like Jansen, because really tough. Adam, really tough too. Guys that I train, so I know they are really good, more than what they show in the competition, you know. But like in the competition, I don't know how the people are in the gym, you know, I just see in the competition. So these guys I know because I see more doing daily basis, you know, so. But there is a lot of guys, and everyone that is really like tough, everybody is winning world titles. So nobody's like being under, you know, yeah.
What's a lesson you've learned, or lessons you've learned in jiu-jitsu that you apply to your life?
I think one thing that I learned in jiu-jitsu was like no matter if it's on the mat or I always try to give my best and mix with the passion that I have. So always I give my 100% when I'm passionate about something, and I put all my effort and things happen, you know. So it doesn't matter if it's in a fight or anything that I want to do in my life. When I mix these two things with a plan, it always worked out, you know. So not just for like a game plan for a fight, but in life in general. So I don't go to a fight without, maybe I can win this fight, maybe not. No, like if I step on the mat, I'm gonna give my 100% to win. I don't have doubts, you know. So when I want to do anything in life, I go with no doubts. So that's what I bring to my life that I have on the mat.
What's some advice you would give yourself when you're just starting out in your jiu-jitsu journey?
Gonna be hard days, gonna be rainy days, but no matter what, just keep going, because after those rainy days, like, there is no rainbow without the rain, right? So in jiu-jitsu it's the same thing. Every time that I thought about giving up, I persist and something great happened after. I remember when I thought about giving up, after losing 10 tournaments in a row, I thought about giving up, I didn't. And my instructor at the time, his name was Seko Shinzato, he told me, like, you can be the weak one and give up, or you can show up Monday in the gym and train. So I didn't want to be the weak one. So I came back to the gym, I trained, and I won. And the other time that I thought about giving up was when I lost my first world title as black belt, 2011. Was a referee decision, and was like so close. And then I remember that was really painful, and I thought, you know what, I'm giving up, I'm gonna think about plan B. And I didn't, I kept training, then I moved to California, and the next year I won the Worlds. So just big examples, but a lot of days like, oh, I'm not getting better, I'm not evolving, my jiu-jitsu is stuck. No, so if you're going to the gym, you're getting better, you know. You might not feel, you might not see, but your instructor, your master, your training partners are feeling, so it's like short steps, but you improve. Just showing up in the gym, sometimes you get tired from work, and you can't even think straight, but if you come here, it's counting. It's day by day, and it's being paid off. You might not see the big change, but it's because there's so many small changes every single day, but you improve. You know, believe it or not, you always improve. Just time on the mat always make you, even a bad day on the mat, still a good day.
So, was there an age or a tournament where maybe you were a lower belt, and was there ever just a moment when you decided, I'm gonna be a world champion? Or what did it just, like, was there a win or a loss that like flipped your switch and you're like, I'm gonna be world champion?
Yeah, it was funny that you used that word, the flip, because I remember exactly the day that happened. I started training, I was around 12 years old, because of my sister, she was 15. And my dad was training, my sister was training, so I didn't like fell in love for jiu-jitsu, but it was a good time to be on the mat with my dad, with my sister, so I was just a kid, didn't really think about like training hard, but it was like kind of like fighting, so it was exciting, but not something that I really loved. And at the same time, I started surfing, so I was between surfing and training, so a lot of times I was just going to the beach and not going to the gym at night. And when I was 15, I was going to the gym like once a week, sometimes twice a week. And I remember it was 2005, was Monday, after the World Championship in 2005. And I remember a couple of my friends, my old teammates, they got some medals, and I remember one of them got like a silver medal. And the professor at the time asked them to talk a little bit. What was the experience? Because it was like a world championship, so most of everybody else never compete, so just give your thoughts. And I remember like he started talking, and he said like, yeah man, I got this silver, but I would change every gold medal that I have just to get this one, the gold, instead of the silver. So like in my head I was like, why he would change everything, why he would give up all the gold medals, all the titles that he had because of one, you know? So like that was like so weird, why give up so much because of one? If he had opportunity, he would do it. Then, like, in something click in my head, like, you know what? I wanna feel what he's feeling. I wanna compete. I wanna compete to know what he's talking about that feeling. So that feeling that he spoke made me like want to feel that. And I remember after that day, I started training every single day, and here I am, you know. But it wasn't even like a victory or like a defeat of mine, but like a speech about my friends, you know. Their speech made me curious to feel about the competition.
Do you remember his name?
Yeah, it was Cavaca, actually. He got the silver medal. I remember Nivaldo got, I forgot the medal that he got, but he was brown belt at the time. And then that was it, you know what I mean? So it was really interesting for me to listen all that.
What makes Cavaco so special? That's for both of you.
You can say first.
I don't know. I think, like, basically, I learned everything that I know in Jiu-Jitsu today with him. Like how can I say, a vision in the game. You know, I don't. When I arrive in Santos, I just go to fight Jiu-Jitsu. But I don't think like strategy. I don't think like why I make any grip. I just do it and fight to win. But with him, I start to think like concept, you know. Looks like he opened my eyes to see my game. How can I fight, you know? So I learned. I think the most important thing that I learned with him was like a vision in the game. You know what I mean? So I think this is the most important thing that I learned.
I agree, he said it all, you know. I think not just with him, but I think with all of us. He had like an arm in Santos with so many guys. I remember when Felipe went there, so a lot of people, like, I got the black belt from him, and man, everybody in Santos pretty much got the black belt from him. And just like he said, you know, he helped everyone to reach their goals and to be where a lot of people is today, you know. So for sure, really special.
When you decided you wanted to be a world champion, how many times were you competing a year?
What you mean?
Like, how many competitions would you do per year?
Every weekend. I mean, after that day, like in Brazil, we used to compete a lot. So every weekend we had like a, yeah, right? So if you want to compete, nowadays they have a lot, right? Like local tournaments, city tournaments, state tournaments, national tournaments. If you want to compete, you find like a way to do it. And for us, we were young, so it was like a kind of training because we compete so much, we didn't get like so excited, like, I mean, the butterflies. So because we compete so much, it helps to get like more comfortable with the competition. So I remember I used to compete a lot. And I remember like back in the day in Brazil, every weekend we used to have like tournaments paying like $1,000, no, I mean 1,000 reais, sometimes like 5,000 reais, and everybody won the money, right? But everybody stopped competing, all the black belts, because Leandro was going to every single tournament and nobody wanted to fight him because he was a light guy and really tough, so everybody avoided him. So every weekend he was cashing like all the checks everywhere. So that's how he made his name in the state. Eventually, when he came from the worlds as black belt, so everybody kind of like knew him already because of this, you know. But I remember like first time that he came, he was black belt already to compete overseas, you know.
Thank you, Buchecha.
No, I just would like to say thank you guys very much. Really appreciate, like Phelps said in the beginning, for me it's really special. Like he said, you know, in Jiu-Jitsu we have opportunity to be with so many idols and so many friends at the same time. Like he said, you guys have Felipe every day here, and you guys like going to play basketball with Kobe and with Jordan, you know what I mean? So that's kind of like, to compare in Jiu-Jitsu, that would be the same thing, you know? So I think that's the only few sports that we have opportunity for them, you know? To be daily with every day with a world champion, with a former world champion. So I think Jiu-Jitsu is so good because of that, you know what I mean? So I think it's special, right? Just would like to say thank you very much. Here I feel like home, so that's why I come all the time, and it's always a pleasure to be with you all on the mat. Some new faces, some old faces, but I really, really enjoy, and I really hope you had a good time, because I had a good time today with you guys. Thank you very much.